Hi, I am Hermie and I'd like to share to you my experience handling my anxiety disorder. And to tell you, I am a survivor of this uh, sickness way back 2000. It started way back 2006, and I suffered a lot from this uh, illness. And I have this, uh, person with disability, um, psychosocial. To be exact, it's about my anxiety disorder. So, first, I'd like to tell you how it started. Um, in my family, I am, second to the youngest, and my father used to work abroad. He was a seaman, and in those times, workers as seaman, they have this 1 year contract to 2 years contract, and then they can just go home for about 2 to 3 days. The most is 1 week maybe. And for 15 years, since grade 1 to I can, if I can still remember, from grade 1 to when till I have graduated from high school, it was the situation. My father is not always around, so I'm always with my mama. And of course, it was not his. He has no other choice because uh, for the whole family, he is just the one earning money for my brothers and sisters, older brothers and sisters, to support them with their studies, and of course for my studies also. And time came that uh, he retired from being a seaman, and so he's always at home. And when there was a situation that I admit to you that I am more closer to my mother than to my father. So there was a time that I have to go out, and they were seated together, and I kissed my mama goodbye, or because I'm about to go out, and I forgot to kiss to my father. And you know I came back and I said, oh, I forget that uh, I my father is around. So that's it. I am more closer to my mother than my father. Uh, Maybe because of what had happened for quite a long time, that he is not always around. But of course, I love my father, and I have also um, childhood memories with him. Time came that I am now in Manila, and my father wanted to stay in the province, so they moved to the province, and I cannot go with them because I am used staying in Manila. So when they are already in the province, I guess that time he already has prostate problem, and so it came to a point that he suffered from stage 4 prostate cancer. And while he was in the hospital, amongst my siblings, um, he was looking for me to attend to him. So when I heard the news that my father was looking for me, I've had my alibis, and I reasoned out that why is it that I'll be the one to watch over him. I have my brothers or my sisters who are not so busy, so, and my friends are here in Manila, so whenever we need money, so I cannot borrow money uh, from that place because I have no, my friends are very limited. So my friends are here in Manila. So there came a time that he was struggling for life, for survival. I don't know what happened in the hospital, and he was struggling for his life. And my mother whispered to him and said, and she said to my father, okay, strive to live because Hermie is already coming. But the truth is, I'm not coming. Maybe just to cheer up my father, or to make my father happy, and for him to have the strength to fight. And after 3 months of being in the hospital, I really did not show myself even for once. And he recovered, and so he traveled together with my mother to Manila. And when they were here, I said, Pa, please forgive me, because during those times that you were looking for me, I was not around. He did not answer, but I know he heard me. And after a few days, he got serious with his sickness. He was hospitalized for 6 days, and then he died. So, I did not expect that it was that soon. So when it happened, if only I can, bring back the hands of time. I have remembered those moments that he had been looking for me to watch over him. And if I have only known that it will happen, that he will be going, it would happen to him, maybe I should have showed myself right away, and I attended him, and I attend to him, and maybe it would not matter if I'm going to watch over him 24 hours a day. And I'd love maybe to talk to him, to cope up those times that we were not together. But it was too late. My father is already gone. So when that happened, I blamed myself, and I felt that I am a bad son. And I got so easily irritated, and things started to happen. And I have experienced that, I was also angry with other people, and I thought that I will not go into details anymore, but I keep on blaming others for what had happened. And I am so easily irritated, and then there was this situation that whenever it's already afternoon, about maybe 6 p.m., I have this loneliness inside that I cannot explain. So I don't want it to get dark. I always want it to be daytime. I don't know why is that, but I have this lonely feeling inside, and I don't want it to get dark. So I am always, there was also this situation that we were traveling outside Manila, me and my singing group. And then if I feel that we are away from the city, I told to myself, oh, the hospital is already far. And what if I have this attack, because I was experiencing hyperventilation then. I carry myself like this. Whenever you are on a plane, they have this paper for, vomiting. And to demonstrate. I always do this whenever I have my attacks. When I have, I don't know if they call it panic attack. The first thing that I have experienced is my hands are getting cold and my feet are getting cold. Even though I will hold a glass of hot water, I cannot feel the heat being hot. So because of my coldness, and you know, I always carry this with me. So whenever we travel outside Manila, I have this feeling that, oh, we are already far from the hospital, so I might have this attack and I am far from the hospital. But you know what comforts me? Whenever I see a nurse, somebody who is wearing white, you know, is hospital staff or a nurse, I know that nurses they have this oath that when, even though they are not on duty, but if they encounter situations that people are in need, so they have to attend to them. So whenever I see a nurse, I said to myself, oh, just relax, because there is a nurse. So there was this one situation also that me and my friend Bernie were traveling, and I had this, you know, conversation with a friend and a misunderstanding, and then I started hyperventilating, and we were on a bus, and I started shivering like this, and I told my friend, please ask the driver to stop the bus, and he was shy because we are traveling fast. So I said to him, please go to the driver and tell him to stop the bus. And so he has no choice, and then go to the driver and ask the driver to stop the bus. And so we get down from the bus, and then it was too dark, and we asked the people of where is the hospital. So because I was already shivering and I have this, you know, I forgot the term, but I was shaking. So I did not expect that we were too far from the hospital. So we we hired this motorcycle to bring us to that hospital, and it was quite a long travel. And when we reached the emergency room, I felt relieved. And you know, my shaking stopped, and when it stopped, of course I am ready to go out because I'm already okay. And when I was about to go out, and here's my friend. So a little later we're going to have this singing. So when I was about to go out, I felt again that I am not okay. My heart is pounding fast, and so I told to my co-member, my friend, can we get back to the emergency room again? And so we went back to the emergency room, and then when I was seated there, I felt okay again. And so when I was okay, I told him to, okay, let's go home. And then when we went out of the emergency, I felt again that I'm not okay. So we went back again to the emergency. So it's kind of funny, but it's true. So when there was also one situation that I have encountered, that I was waiting for a jeepney in Pasay, and I have experienced palpitation, and there was this hospital nearby, So I brought myself to the emergency, and then the what nurse asked me, what happened to you, sir? And I said, um, I have this anxiety attack. And she said, oh, the doctor is still busy and no one is available. So you must take a deep breath and then relax. And deep inside, I felt that I am about to die. So, but there's no one to attend to me. And so I talked to myself and said, you must relax, you must take a deep breath, and then you must be okay, because you're going to die if you will not do that. So later on, thank God I am okay already. And so I got up from that bed and started walking out of the emergency room. So, it's, if we're going to think about these things, if you do not understand what happened to people like me, it's kind of funny. And one situation that I can point to is that I have this, argument with a friend, and then I felt bad, and I had this attack, and I was inside the mall, and so I started shaking again and palpitating, and I heard the footsteps of the people inside the mall, and it was too loud, and I tend to cover my ears because it was too loud. So I prayed, and I said, Lord, I know that this is not already normal. Please help me. And so I have looked for a word to read just to relax myself, and I found the word tapsilog. It is a dish here in the Philippines, and I covered my ears and started reading slowly. Tapsilog. Okay? Tapsilog. And then I told my friends, please bring me to the hospital. And when they brought me to the hospital, same thing happened. I was relaxed. Sometimes the doctor will, give me iterax for me to relax. And when I'm already relaxed, I can go out. And then sometimes if I feel I'm not okay, so a few steps away from the emergency, I have to go back again, so that, because I am not feeling well again. So there was, a span of 2 months that I had 17 attacks. I was brought to different hospitals in Manila, and I will not be ashamed to admit that I was taking antipsychotic drugs before, for brain chemical imbalance. One of it is, if I can still remember, it's fluoxetine. And a doctor told me that, he said, Hermie, you have to be aware that if these attacks will continue, it will lead to insanity. And so I was worried, because I don't want to go to the mental institution. But when I was in Philippine General Hospital, I asked the other patients who were waiting for the doctor, and I asked them, what have you experienced? What is happening to you? And they told me that, and they don't want it to get evening. They just wanted to, always daytime. So same experience with mine. And they experience the coldness in their hands and their feet, and they have this palpitation, but they see, you know, people that they're only the ones who can see them and the others cannot. So I said to myself, I am thankful that I haven't experienced that yet. And so the staff asked me for interview, who brought you here? I said, myself. And have you experienced two people talking in your mind, and they are laughing, and they are laughing at you? And I said, no. And if you see two people talking, do you always assume that they are talking about you? And I said, no. Okay, so the mere fact that you are here and you seek for help, you are still okay. So there are a lot of people who were brought here. They claim that they are okay, but they are not. But since I have that problem, they advised me to see the psychiatrist, once a week. And I have to tell the psychiatrist anything under the sun for about an hour. And after an hour, the psychiatrist will ask me, so what are the solutions to your problem? And I was surprised. I thought that she will be giving me solutions. And I said, I thought, doctor, you will be the one who will tell me the solutions. And she said, no, because by pinpointing, I understand that by pinpointing of what your problems are, it is easier to solve. So a friend of ours wrote a song, and it is also found in my channel. It is entitled God Understands. And I believe, and I'm thankful that that song is also used for reminding me that there is a God in heaven who is greater than our fears and our problems. So one afternoon, I went to a big university in Silang, Cavite, and I went straight to the advanced studies department, and I looked for the head of the psychology department. You know what? You know why I did that? Because I am the person who is I like someone who is advising me, or I will have faith in somebody who is advising me if I know that he is credible and he really knows what he's talking about. So I went to the advanced studies department, to the head of the psychology, and of course he doesn't know me. So I waited for him in his office, and after few minutes he arrived, and he said, I should be charging consultations, but since you are here and you have exerted effort to come here, I will give you 30 minutes free. Tell me everything you want to tell me. And so I made it quick. During those times that my father was looking for me, and then he died, and then those attacks started, and after 30 minutes he told me, okay, time is up. Do you want me to assess you now? And I said yes. Okay. And he said, the things that these things that are happening to you is because you cannot forgive yourself. Even though you cry with blood, you cannot bring back your father anymore. He's already gone. But he asked me, is your mother still alive? And I said, yes. All the things that you failed to do to your father, do it to your mama, do it to your mother. And I'm kind of, you know, being reminded that yes, it is true that I cannot bring back my father anymore because he's already gone. But if I'm going, but my mother is still around, so I can still do things, you know, those frustrations, I can make it up to my mother. And so I have chosen to forgive myself. And after our conversation, it was already dark and about to get evening, and it should be the time that I will feel, you know, lonely. But when I got out from his office, I haven't felt that kind of feeling anymore. Literally, I was, you know, I appreciated the nature, the movements of the trees, and the fresh air, and it's as if I am new to earth, and everything is beautiful. And you know, when you have anxiety disorder, you have this, you know, it's just like a stone in your chest, and it's heavy, and you don't know how to get rid of it. But during that time, literally, it was already removed. And so then I would like to admit to you that sometimes attacks may, you know, still happens. One situation after maybe 2006, and after 10 years, more than 10 years, it still, you know, comes back. One situation, we were in Hong Kong, and during midnight, I find it hard to breathe, and we were in, you know, 7th floor of a hotel, and there's no lift or elevator. So I panicked because I cannot breathe. So all the people there, you know, they were awake, and they, you know, massage my hands and my feet. But I am thankful that the Lord has shown me ways on how to manage this kind of situation and how to relax. And I am not a doctor, I am not a medical practitioner, but I am doing this video to let you know that maybe one of you who is watching right now is experiencing the same thing. So many Filipinos, we are not yet open to, you know, going to the psychiatrist or psychologist for help. But there's nothing wrong in seeing a psychiatrist, because stress related problems, they're the ones who will handle that. And when anxiety, when you feel anxious, and these things about depression, they're the experts to that. So do not be afraid of seeing a psychiatrist and a psychologist, because they can really help. But one thing that I do not like, the advice of the psychiatrist gave me before. She asked me, "Are you reading the Bible?" And I said, "Yes." "Okay, for your situation, I advise you not to read the Bible." And I said, "Why?" It was in our studies that you know, many people when they read the Bible, they got insane. So I asked her, what if you can find comfort in the Bible, and you feel, you know, relieved by reading the Bible? And she said, "Just follow my advice, do not read the Bible." And I said to myself, oh, in that case, I will not follow your advice. And the Lord said that cast your burdens, upon me, and those who are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. So let us leave everything to the Lord. Whatever problems you have, the Lord is greater than our problems, and He is always ready to help us. So sometimes when you feel that you cannot sleep because many things are disturbing your mind, one text that I can share to you is Psalm 23 verse 1. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." It means He is our shepherd and we cannot ask for anything else. He is in charge. So if you want to ask questions about what are the techniques that I have learned in avoiding being in this kind of situation, you can comment below, and you can message me in our Facebook and Singing Ministers. You can ask questions, and it has been my advocacy to listen to people who has problems. And as I have told you, I am not a doctor, but who knows, I can be of help. And when I experience that situation, having that anxiety disorder, I have learned that even though people cannot help you by just listening to you, when you have when you want to tell them something and they are eager to listen and they are really sincere in listening to you, you feel relieved. So when you have friends, or somebody from your family, or maybe someone who is experiencing these things, try to be of a listening ear, and volunteer to ask them to share their problems to you, because by just listening, it is already a big help, and it can take away the heaviness inside. So I have decided not to write the things that I've said, because I want it to be more natural, and I hope that I have enlightened many of you who are experiencing these things. So God bless everyone, and I hope that you will continue to subscribe to my channel, and we have a lot of inspirational songs here. And remember that God is just waiting for you to ask Him for help, and we have a great privilege, because we are His children, and He is our Father. So believe that He can do something for you. God bless everyone, and thank you for watching.